You know, the true power of Excel really hits home when you combine features and don't use things in isolations. Today we're going to look at combining a dynamic array function with the use of a table to produce a small application to look up data within that table. This will help you in many instances today to do stuff at your work. There is no complications, there's no VBA or any coding, so it's all just Excel. I'm excited, let's get in there. Today we're going to be looking at a nice little way to combine not only the dynamic array functions, one in particular, but also using that with tables, which everyone should be at least be using right this moment. Tables being a wonderful way to be the source of data, the brain, if you like, and the dynamic array forms the report. So what we're looking at today is to use this data here, which is a table that we've already created. Just let me quickly review how that's done. So I'm just going to undo what I've done, and I'm going to clear out all the formats so that we don't have any of that left over. Right, so to create our table super quickly, Control T. Now, because I was inside a contiguous range of data, it's detected the extent of the table all the way down to the bottom. And my table does have headers, so I will leave that tick box on, that checkbox, click OK, and now I'm back to where I was. Now the first step I will do though is I'm going to create a name for this table, much better than the generic table 5. I'm going to call this TBL, this little prefix, because we'll see where that comes in shortly. And what it's actually for, it's for products. So table underscore products, because we're not allowed to have spaces, and that gives the impression of a space. So that's now the name for this table. Now, across the right here, I've got the formula we're going to be using. You can see it's got quite a few components to it, but we can break that down. Having a look at this other page here, where we're going to be looking or searching for each row for a piece of text, because we're going to look for products by typing a product name in full or part in this cell and have it displayed, or the full range of rows displayed that kind of part or fully match our search. So does this row contain the text I'm searching in? If so, where is that? And that's what the search function generally does. And the next part is this is number, because what search returns is a character place where that text starts in that text string. So is number will say, is that a number that you've just found? If it is, then I'll mark that row true. Otherwise, I'll mark that row false. And this will be all done in memory. Then finally, we'll be using the filter, which is the actual command that creates a dynamic array. And we'll be showing all the column data, that every row that is true, therefore it contains our search string. So that's the general logic overall. So let's break it down even further. Once again, here being that entire formula. So search will find the character of the text that we're searching for within another piece of text. In our case, we're going to search using the cell H2, whatever we enter in there, and we're going to be looking in the product name column in the table products. So the beauty of search is that we'll find a whole or part of text that we entered into our search cell, and that will return a number, which is the character position at the start of the text in that cell, and it will produce an error or no value if it doesn't find it. Then the is number will check if we've got a number or not. Okay, so have we found our text or not? And if so, it will return true, and if we haven't, it will return false. And this is the helper for the filter command to know what to show, i.e. all the trues, all the true results that have our search text. And finally, the filter that commands all of the other bits and pieces, it needs an array and something to include, and potentially an optional if empty component as well. So the filter will work on with the helper functions to filter out all the rows that in that column that have a true. And that's, as I said, kept in memory from the is number true results when the search command found matches. So bundling all that together, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3 open brackets, which we close here at the end. Okay, so let's give this one a crack here. Back on our other page. Now, this column of product name is the second one. So we're going to bring out all of the data from the table. So we'll need space for everything. 1, 2, 3, 4 columns of data, which we will include here. So this will be the first cell within our dynamic array, and the only one that will actually have anything physically entered in. So let's start with our filter command, noting here's our formula across to the right hand side. So typing filter, hitting tab brings that in with an open parentheses or bracket, and the array that we need to include is our table products, which is this table here. So if I start typing TBL, there it is. That's why I like to start with that little TBL abbreviation at the front. Hit the tab key once again and comma to now have the what to include. So this is firstly the is number and open bracket for that, which we're going to wrap around a search and tab into that. Now what we're going to find, the text we're going to find, is whatever we have entered on this sheet, dynamic array, in H2, this yellow filled cell. So I'll click that, comma, and what we need to look within is the product's name column. So just, if you'll notice as I move within the table, just above the product name heading, if I click, when I've got that little black arrow, you can see that that's now selected the entire range of that column for product name. Now we just need to close off firstly our filter, our search, our is number, and our filter. You'll see it goes that dark black. hit enter, and here is our spilled or dynamic array. Wonderful stuff. So you can see it's got everything in it at the moment, simply because we haven't entered anything into our search here. So what you would normally do is you might want to dress it up a bit. We can include these headings, and we can copy and paste those above. Bit of color doesn't hurt. And now, here's the test. If we start typing part or full text entries here to search for, let's type in pen, shall we? And note it's got a bit of a type ahead, but I will just type pens, see if that works. There we are. And notice the dynamic array has just shown us what the results were of that search. Right, what's another one we can type in? Paper. We're working for a stationery store here. So paper produces 2 paper items, but also paper clips. So that's pretty neat. If I just give it a little stretch here, let's type in PAP. Same result. So part or full names will work because that's what search is going to find, and that's the reason we've used it. So pretty happy with that. There's one aspect of dynamic arrays that concerns quite a few people, and that is when they see the dreaded spill error. And now, basically, what is occurring with a spill error is that the dynamic array has nowhere to place all of its data. It might be blocked for some reason. Now, if we look at this one here, if I click inside, you can see that faint blue line surrounds the spilled array. And here at the bottom is where it ends. Now, if I have something in between, so let's force a spill error. I'll just type in paper. Don't want clips. It's paper. Now, way less than we had a second ago. So I've only got 3 rows being spilled from that filtered option I've got there. So let me place something in between. So do not do this. So it's kind of like the data needs to go somewhere on your desk, and you've got a coffee cup in the way, and it's going to spill your coffee. So we don't want to do that. So by not doing this, let's just clear that option out, and just very quietly, we've got a spill error there. Now, the spill error, if I click on it, you can see it's indicating why it can't fill out the array correctly, because there's something in the way. Now, it's just a matter of simply deleting it, and we get our spilled array fixed up and no more spill error. Now, to take it a step further, we could show you how you could apply that in real life. So here's our same stuff here, which it's all a bit neater. I've turned off the grids from the View tab here, so no grid lines are visible. And I've set up my little search header here so it looks a bit nicer, including a graphic. Now that could be logos and color for branding and so on. And that search thing works just the same here. Voila, pretty neat. Now I'm going to just delete that. And we could go one step further with all of this. Now if I select with the entire data visible, and note this is also being drawn from a table on another sheet, so it keeps it all clean. The entire table for the dynamic array, including the headings I've selected here. So I'm just going to copy that, Control C, And I'll just click somewhere over here away from my picture there, and I'll go to paste special options, and one in particular is this linked picture. Now I've dragged that over here, and now it's sitting on top of this image. Now you can see that it's gone a bit funny there, but it's also sitting over the image and you can see through it. So what I might do firstly is I'll just format that to have a fill of white. There we go. That's smartened things up a bit. And I can drag that to wherever I wish to see it. So we can make it look placed in a really nice manner. And I'll just hit escape to stop my selection. Do my search. And once again, let's type pens. And you can see that it also happens over there. So either way to display the results, fairly neat, and you can do some pretty special stuff making it look presentable for users and making it easy to use. So I hope you enjoyed that quick little exploration of how to use tables and dynamic arrays in conjunction with each other and have one feed the other. Very good way to have a bit of a hybrid system in your spreadsheet. If you liked this, please give it a like. And if you'd like to hear and see some more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you join us in the future for some more Excel tutorials. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next one.